Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Mackay T Podcast. Here are your hosts, Ryan Mackay and T Davis.
This is the Mackay T Show. This is the Mackay T Show. We talk movies and TV shows, sports and world news, coasting like on a world cruise. Hosted by Brian Mackay and T Davis. Yeah, you can't tame us. We're going to the top, we're becoming famous.
What time is it?
It's time for the Mackay T Show.
What time is it?
I said it's time for the Mackay T Show.
Welcome back to the Mackay T Show podcast. We have a special episode today on this Friday the 13th.
This is the GoFundMe episode. She needs a computer.
Please, someone start a GoFundMe account for Twitter's T as she
needs a computer.
As she embarks on her new computer process. But anyway, this is our women's college basketball preview episode. Let's see. I know the first story, as I was kind of looking at things to talk about today, just trying to not start off with something to do with UConn. I wanted to touch on a little heartwarming story that I read. UAB's basketball program is having a lot of financial issues right now. Wasn't able to really fund the stipends for the year for the girls in the men's basketball program. So the men's UAB, excuse me.
I said for the GAs, the graduate assistants.
Oh no, for the entire program, all the players.
What?
Yeah, so I don't know who's running their budget, but they're struggling. But anyway, so UAB's men's head coach, Jared Haas, is paying the stipend, $23,000 for each program, for the women's and men's, gonna pay for each player's stipend this year, out of his own pocket.
He got to pay for his own teams and the girl. Lord, God bless him. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Why don't you have money for your program? You need to go to more schools and get beat up. Call Florida, get on their schedule for the games, cupcake games. Get them couple of millions and set that aside. It's insane.
Yeah, I know their football program was supposedly going to be defunct, and then all of a sudden, a couple months later, they decided that they were going to be back at it. So, I don't know what's going on up there.
They got no money.
I don't know what's going on at UAB, but
that's where to go, Coach. Well,
yeah, congratulations. Thank you, Coach Haas. All right, well, jumping right into it, as I didn't want to start off with UConn, I think just about everything else we're going to talk about today will involve UConn, as the University of Connecticut women's basketball team is embarking on its journey for its fourth consecutive women's national championship. They returned preseason All-American, unanimous All-American, Brianna Stewart, who is the third player to be named preseason unanimous All-American selection in history. And she joined, I think it was Brittany Griner and of Baylor and Elena Beard of Duke. I'm sorry, Maya Moore of Connecticut. So she's fourth to be selected the preseason unanimous All-American.
So when
yeah, so joining Stewart on the All-American team were Mariah Jefferson of Connecticut, South Carolina's Tiffany Mitchell, Baylor's Nina Davis, and Ohio State's Kelsey Mitchell. Yeah. Let's see. In the preseason top 25, the top 5 goes as Connecticut 1, South Carolina 2, Notre Dame at 3, Tennessee at 4, Baylor at 5. No real surprises there. As you go down a little further, Ohio State is at 6, Florida State 7, Louisville 8, Maryland 9, and a relative not necessarily a newcomer to the top 25, but a newcomer to the top 10. They have Oregon State listed at 10. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do out in the Pac-12. I know they're favored to win it. Yeah, Oregon State.
I didn't know they had a basketball team.
Oh no.
Just saying. No, I ain't the only one. The rest of y'all listen. Don't act like y'all knew that. All right, go ahead.
Oh, let's see. I wanted to kind of play a little game. I'm gonna just throw 3 teams out there.
Oh Lord, this is gonna go bad. I can feel it.
I will give the argument on why they will upset and take over UConn. You can give the argument on the negative side why they won't.
Well, I gotta have an empty cup. Go ahead.
I just felt like that would be what you would want to be.
Sure, of course I want to be the devil's advocate.
University of South Carolina.
They're not gonna win it because
Can I give my reasons first? I see you already jumping in on the game. Okay, South Carolina. Why they will beat UConn. My biggest word with them is maturity. Okay, I'll go another word. And growth. Maturity and growth. 2 words. You got a lot of young players that are growing into themselves. They got Tiffany Mitchell, who is SEC preseason player of the year, who is a great player. Bianca Cuevas at guard, who is going to be another year older. Asia Wilson, their talented freshman from last year, is a sophomore, 6'5" forward. They're just growing. All their players are growing. They have another year of experience under their belt. With Elena Coates. I mean, they just have a nice little squad. Don Staley's building there in South Carolina and Columbia. And I really think this could be the year that they could, I mean, you know, the last year the game was in stores. It was highly touted. It didn't necessarily go the way they thought it was going to go. Yeah, ESPN covered it. But this year, I believe the game will be played in Columbia. And it's not just about that one game. I'm trying to make the argument that they're going.
It is. Because if that game is close, your team feel like, okay, if we play them again, you know, which did happen, that we got a chance. But I don't play basketball, and some part of you, whether you said or not, like, oh man, we got like this is gonna be hard. So it's imperative that even if they lose that game, that it's not a blowout.
Well, the game is not till February. It's February 8th. So they'll be right in the heart of SEC schedule, which could be a problem, could not. You never know.
Well, let me just tell you this. They ain't going to win because their guards are not good enough. The guards are not good enough. And I like Tiffany Mitchell, whatever name Mitchell, something Mitchell.
Tiffany.
I like Tiffany. I do like Tiffany. But She not like a guard that can carry the team. And they need a point guard. I don't know who it is this year, but whoever that point guard was last year, you know, they try. I mean, commentators and people not gonna say anything bad about the kids, and you know, the coach ain't gonna say, "Yeah, my point guard sucks." But I'm gonna tell you, your point guard is not good. Like, she don't run the team well, or she didn't last year. She was good enough against average opponents, but when they played tough teams, she was just average. Mitchell, in and out, you know, she get in foul trouble, whatever, they in trouble because they don't really have a guard that can make their own shot, or they really don't have a guard that make others better. The post players, and this is why I thought they might be decent last a chance to beat UConn, because I thought they would just beat them up inside. But no, they post players solely, like they get the ball on the block. The lefty, which I think is the one that you said, the freshman, she just twisting, turning, tossing up anything, and just trying to use her brute strength. I'm like, dude, y'all need some post moves. Whatever happened to a drop step? Which it ain't her, it's everybody in the country. Because we talking about, I ain't seen a solid drop step. That kid that played at Tennessee that tore her ACL. When I saw them play, I texted everybody I knew. That's how my first real post move of the year. I'm serious.
Yeah.
And so until them post players dominate, like they got to dominate. UConn got to know, look, if we don't get a good shot, we ain't going to get one shot because they're going to be cleaning up all the boards for you. I don't think they're going to get over them. I hope they do because I don't like UConn. But until they get a good point guard, they're going to continue to struggle.
Well, I really think that Bianca
Which
Cuevas...
is surprising because Don is a point guard.
Well, I think Cuevas has the chance to be that type point guard for them. I mean, her freshman year she was up and down, but I think she can turn out to be what Dawn needs. Let's moving on to another team, University of Tennessee. This year they'll bring in Diamond DeShields, who redshirted last year after transferring from North Carolina, where she was ACC Freshman of the Year her freshman year in Chapel Hill. They'll have her in the backcourt. They'll have forwards Bashara Graves and center Mercedes Russell. Just kind of looking up and down. They got Jasmine Jones, another forward. Andrea Carter will be a guard that'll take over in the backcourt. Tia Cooper, another point guard. They have a very talented roster, a lot of size. It's gonna be, can the coaching staff bring that together? Can they take all that talent and do something with it like they have for years in Knoxville?
This is what's wrong with Tennessee. I think the Shields is going to help them a great deal because she's one of them people that you ain't got to run plays for. Like, she can get her own shot because they need a score when the defense get tight and everybody else choking. Let me not say choking, struggling.
Right.
Now, Tennessee lost their swagger. I don't know if they need to find them little monsters from what's the Michael Jordan movie? From Space Jam.
The Monstars.
They don't start their mojo. The mojo is gone. Because they had that swagger. You can see they got it against little scrub teams, like when they playing Ole Miss and they SEC teams. And they might be getting a little scared of South Carolina. But they don't have that swagger when they play UConn and them like they should.
Mm-hmm. So
she got to get their swag back. I think, Diamond is going to help them a lot. I think she's going to help them a great deal because they guards, they were okay guards, but they didn't have that outstanding guard like everybody else has, at least that one outstanding guard. I think she'll give them that.
Yeah, if Diamond can keep her head on straight, she'll be great for them. I mean, and she'll be what everybody's used to at Tennessee, in great guard play. I mean, you have a lot of post players go around her.
So, because they got some bodies. Again, they just don't have the swag, and they kind of got it, but when they play the big teams, you just be like, they out there playing, but they're not that confident that they're going to win.
Right. Our third and final team, we go down to Waco, Texas, and the Baylor Lady Bears. Return All-American Nina Davis, forward, 5'11" junior. They have Chardonnay Fuqua, who is a 6-foot forward, senior. Let's see. Alexis Jones and Alexis Prince, both I think will probably start in the backcourt for them. Very good guards. Nia Johnson, another very good guard. They're a lot, they have a good mix of young players. They have P.J. Brown's daughter, Kehlani Brown, who's a freshman this year, 6'7". Don't know what her impact will be in her freshman season, but at her size and where, very highly touted freshman player. I know you and I both saw her when she was in the 8th or 9th grade at Ole Miss's basketball camp.
Right.
She, they have a good mix of older players and younger players. Be interesting to see what Kim Mulkey will do with this team. They don't have. I mean, Nina Davis is quote unquote a star, but they don't have that star name that you used to. They don't have a Brittany Griner or Odyssey Sims. It's going to be interesting to see what they do this year.
It's probably good that they don't have that. Teams don't just be looking and focusing on one of your players. It's probably better to have a well-rounded squad. Mm-hmm. Just have that one player that that like we going to her if we need buckets. But Baylor's always a toss-up. I'm just still mad at Brittany and them. They should have been more successful while she was there, but they're just a toss-up. Look, UConn gonna run through their early season schedule, and if it's not South Carolina, Stanford, or somebody don't get them, I mean, what's Stanford looking like? They might not even be good this year, but they usually solid.
Oh yeah, they'll have another Saga team. I don't right now, right off the top of my head, I can't think of any. I mean, because both the Mackay sisters have graduated and are both in WNBA now. Kind of like Baylor, gonna be a Saga team with got a underknown or not as well known players
that can catch up and try to sneak them. You gotta be a good defensive team. Whoever it is that's gonna get them, like you gotta be, and that's why if South Carolina's post players can defend and rebound and not let them get second shots, and then they'll start to get anxious because they really don't get too anxious because they know, oh well, I missed a shot, get a rebound, we're gonna make a run. But if you keep them from making them runs, they gonna have a couple, but they just can't string them 10-0 runs on you because then you're gonna struggle.
I'm looking at Connecticut's schedule right now. I want everybody to circle this date on the calendar. Monday, November 30th. Let's see if that game on TV. It is. It's going to be, well, it's on ESPN3. Monday, November 30th, the UConn Lady Huskies travel to Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Oh, Lord, UTC in the building. They beat Stanford and Tennessee last year.
Chattanooga with Coach Jim Foster, longtime coach at Vanderbilt and Ohio State for many years, and Chattanooga's always been a tough team, a tough place to play. He's really turned them into a perennial power in the last couple of years. I think that could be a trap game. Now, UConn will have to go down there and just have a completely off night, but that could be a trap game.
Well, they better call Tennessee and Stanford because I'm sure they went down there and was like, UTC, I never heard of Chattanooga. And then they left there with the sad face.
Mm-hmm.
So they better not go down there playing. And Foster don't won some big games, but I can't even think of the other guys, and I knew his name because he was been there forever.
He's at NC State now. Westmore.
West.
Yes.
West was going down there forever. Yeah, they've been winning for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been good for a long time. That should be fun. I didn't know they played them.
I didn't either. When I saw that, I mean, that was the first game that really popped off the schedule for me, looking down at it.
Oh, Mox.
Yeah, Mighty Mox.
I forgot all about last year. They beat upset Tennessee and Stanford. Yep, y'all go down there playing, y'all gonna lose.
Let's see, SEC. I know that's near and dear to both of our hearts. You got South Carolina as preseason favorite. Tiffany Mitchell, like I said earlier, is preseason player of the year. I think Tennessee can give them a run. And I'm going to give you one more name. I think Mississippi State has a good chance to make some noise this year. Another year older for some of their younger players. They made a lot of noise last year. I think they were an 8 or 9 seed in the NCAA tournament. I can't remember exactly what their seed was, but they made a good run in the tournament. I think this could be a team that could really do some things in the conference this year.
I was shocked. I was shocked when I looked at the list because they ranked like high in the national poll too.
Right.
And I was like, what? Mississippi State's supposed to be good? Ain't nobody told me nothing. I like the little guard that killed us with that last second shot last year. She apparently was a freshman. She tough. She talk trash. Not that I like to talk trash, but she tough. She ain't scared of the moment. She got good handles. She can defend.
She reminds me of Tamika Johnson that used to play at LSU.
Yes, at LSU. Yes.
Yeah.
Now that you say that.
That's how she plays. Yeah. She carries herself. You know, she's 5 foot nothing, but she plays. She got that walk like she's 6 foot tall.
She's confident.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know about the rest of their players. I wasn't that excited about their posts. They long and lean. They just so little.
Right. Morgan Williams. That's that girl's name. The point guard. They also have Victoria Vivens, who's 6'4" and sophomore from Scott Central High School in Mississippi. Big time scorer. Really kind of came into her own toward the end of the year last year. I'm saying no one else on their roster really kind of jumps out at you.
No, but I mean, SEC is really gonna be them top two teams. I mean, Texas A&M, they usually solid, but South Carolina and Tennessee, that should be the two that decided. It might be a surprise. I don't know what Kentucky got. They normally solid. They got them in 5.
Speaking of Kentucky, Kentucky's had a string of players leaving their program lately. It seems like every day Bleacher Report sends me another notification of another transfer leaving Lexington. I don't know what's going on up there.
Matthew Mitchell, what you up there doing?
Yeah. Let's see. Going over to the ACC. It's pretty much all Notre Dame. And every preview you've ever read, Notre Dame is picked to be number 1 in that conference. Let's see. You got Florida State, Louisville, Duke is always solid. Syracuse came on strong last year. Gonna be interested to see what North Carolina will be without the Shields. Miami of Florida, Hurricanes always a decent team. Westmore, NC State, Georgia Tech. Don't think they'll be as good this year with Mackay Davis transferring.
But let me just tell you about Miss Davis. Now I don't know if she's matured as an athlete or what. I saw her play a whole bunch in her AAU days. I would say her father probably did her a disservice as being her coach, because he let her do stuff that you'd be like, why aren't you saying something? You're an NBA player. You know, if any of your teammates, or you for that matter, did that your coach would be like, look at here, that's a terrible shot.
Anthony Davis is being her father, for everyone that doesn't know.
Oh, they ought to know. Okay, and so I'm like, okay. They was like, oh, she going to Tennessee. I was like, okay, that don't mean nothing. Because all that she doing right there, Pat ain't happy. Well, of course, God bless Pat. She don't feel into Alzheimer's. So she didn't really wind up being under Pat. And again, I can't think of Pat's assistant and now the head coach.
Holly Warlick.
Holly. Holly, pretty much probably like Pat and was like, honey, you can't, that ain't the shots that we take here. This ain't how we do things. And she wasn't about that life, so she moved on. Because she transferred like 3 or 4 high schools when she was in high school, because I guess maybe one coach told her something she didn't like. Oh, I'm leaving, I'm going to another high school. Oh, I'm leaving, I'm going to another high school. So she has very little discipline. So good luck with that, Don Staley.
Yeah.
Because they all tell you what you want to hear or what they think you need to hear when they want you to pick them up.
Going over to the Big 12. Baylor, who we spoke on already. Texas, I think is an up-and-coming team. Karen Aston's doing a really good job down there. Got a good coaching staff together. I think they have a chance to make some noise. Oklahoma, always a decent team. Sherry Cole and her staff always have a tough out whenever you got to play them. Iowa State is always a scrappy bunch. That, always in the thick of things when it comes Big 12 tournament time. I don't know. I think that's the top 4 when you come to the season. Did you know Tina Thompson was on the coaching staff at Texas now? Former Houston Comet, WNBA All-Star.
She finally retired.
Oh yeah, she's been retired a couple years now.
Well, that'll be helpful if she can help their post players, develop. That'll be helpful. I mean, I know Tina liked to shoot threes, but she didn't mind getting in there and banging. So.
No, and I mean, I think it's good for post players. I think it's going to be good for their recruiting. Trying to just look around at some other storylines going into the season. I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, it's really like the storyline is who is going to knock off or who can knock off UConn, which we already talked about. Now, I mean, I don't know what Notre Dame looked like, but they seem to crumble when they play them too. For some reason, something bad always happens. It should be fun. Rihanna, Turner, they got a good mix of junior, seniors. So we'll see what happens.
I know this. UConn need to find some more teams to play in their preseason games because it's ridiculous when you beating somebody 98-18.
Well, let's talk about this very quick.
December 5th is Notre Dame. But go ahead.
This is the problem with women's basketball, and apparently it's just gonna always be a problem. All the good players want to run to 1 or 2 teams, now maybe 3, without considering that you're gonna be sitting on the bench. So yeah, you might have gone to UConn and won 3 titles. You could have been at Florida, Ole Miss, and been a star player and have somebody actually know your name besides your parents. But no, you want to go to UConn and sit on the bench because they got all Americans all the way down the bench.
Mm-hmm.
That could be stars anywhere else. I'm sorry that you think that I got 3 national titles. Well, did you play? Because that's what I'm gonna ask you. Did you get to play? Oh, the last 30 seconds of the game, the last minute of the game, that don't count. So I don't understand it. Because I know somebody that won a bunch of NBA titles. And that was kind of like the first one. Also, you just be like, then you win the second, and then it's just like, the thrill is gone really fast. Host Claw. She probably, yeah, I remember when we won this, but at this point in my life, they don't mean as much as when I was chasing. So you could have all these memories that you built at some smaller school, and yeah, I don't know why they all run to UConn and sit on the bench. It's just crazy to me. Because it would help the league. It would help with parity. Because it's really no fun watching one team win it every year.
And not just, dominate.
Yeah, and just running through teams and it's not even close. It's just like, ooh. Because even when Tennessee was winning a lot, obviously the league was better as a whole. But it was like they had some nail biters. Like they weren't killing people like you talking about beating people by 50 and 60. Like even just in the SEC alone, they was having dog fights. But you just like, ooh, like this is boring. Don't nobody want to watch y'all just have a live practice.
Right. Yeah.
But oh well.
Well,
I guess that's the way it's gonna be.
The season kicks off today, officially. Everybody's starting today, yes. Friday the 13th.
I'll be out there with the babies. The babies be over in the Coliseum today.
The school day game at Ole Miss.
Yeah. All the little chitterlinks be out there screaming for every play.
Make sure you pack your Tylenol. That's a headache waiting to happen. All them kids get to yelling and screaming.
It's kind of fun. Because they cheer for everything. Like, any shot. Then when you miss it, be like, Be like, Lord, y'all, it's not that serious. Don't be that emotional.
My favorite part of that game is when the cheerleaders get them going with the red and the blue chant. One side yelling red, the other side yelling blue. And literally, the cheerleaders will leave the court. The timeout is over. Players are coming back on the floor. And those kids will be yelling red and blue for the next 20 minutes. Just still going while the game's going on.
Well, my favorite part is when some song that they know and they lose their mind.
What's
standing up, singing it, doing whatever dance. And you be like, wow.
Party in the USA.
Yes.
Miley Cyrus.
The song go off and they still saying, got my hands up.
Yeah.
I'm like, they playing my song a mess.
Oh, goodness. Well, it'll be interesting to see what goes on the season. Well, I'm sure we'll talk more about women's basketball on our regular episodes. But I think that's going to be a wrap for today's special. As always, I'm Brian McKay, and I am with...
It is great, Florida Gator Davis. I'm working on getting that changed to that thing.
Yeah, go ahead and see the Social Security office about your name change.
I'm really like, man, this is too long. No, it's not too long.
Nah, if Ron Artest can be Meta World Peace, you can be T. It's great to be a Florida Gator Davis.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
What time is it?
Well, that's going to be a wrap on it.
What time is it?
Hey, this has been the Mackay T Show podcast. Thank you for listening.
This is the Mackay T Show. This is the Mackay T Show. We talk movies and TV shows, sports and world news, coasting like on a world cruise. Hosted by Mackay T Davis. Yeah. You can't tame us. We're going to the top, we're becoming famous.
What time is it?
It's time for the Mackay T Show.
What time is it?
I said it's time for the Mackay T Show.